Hello everybody, welcome to the first of the semi-finals today, Grand Championship Series qualification rounds, Citadel. We have here a player who is currently 2-0 up in every single round of this qualification round. It is the fearsome winner of GCS2 last year. It is Lovenest playing as the Soviets.
German war machine's back, baby. But in the Netherlands, something has awakened. It's used to be the fact that Von Asten was just a plucky mid-carder trying to battle up against the heavyweights and quite frankly getting outpunched. But he's been training hard and he's here, he's ready. He's seeded 3 in the current system. It's Von Asten and he's going to try and make a big name for himself today.
Yep, this will be the game. He might not get a chance to play this again. Do you know what I mean? You sometimes only come up against the player once before you get to the finals. This would be a great time for him to just make his mark on the scene and say, do you know what, I've beaten who is maybe still by default, you know, by last year's results, the best Company of Heroes 2 player. I mean, that maybe isn't true. You see, like, DevM and everything. But to beat Lovenest is a big thing in a tournament scene. And you might beat him in an auto match and think it's okay, but to beat Lovenest in a tournament setting is hard work. Absolutely
different ball game, baby. And the king of this ball game, the undisputed king of this ball game, after we had that huge-ass 6-week prolonged single elimination tournament last year, was clearly Lovenest. That said, let's talk a little bit about the tactics at play. Von Asten's gone for an MG start. He's gone hard for the fuel. Lovenest is just poking around, trying to prod him and, quite frankly, delay him. Meanwhile, he's been able to get his own fuel in the southwest.
Lovenest doing well here. There's no danger of Von Asten not getting his fuel. You see lovely little building pops from Lovenest and prevented the Pioneers from getting green cover for that MG. And the green cover I think is important because that's, you know, the MG is not so effective against the house that a unit inside there can't take down that 4-man squad. So having the green cover position, very, very important. Lovely positioning, trying to get either side of the hedgerow, whichever way Lovenest goes is going to be a problem. So, you know, good indicators of a good start game coming up.
Definitely, and in the southwest we've got 2 Grenadiers now, double teaming with perfect timing, might have said. Von Asten had great timing there. He's going to win this engagement thanks to that said timing. He's got medium cover Grens. There, the arrowhead and the shaft right behind him, behind green cover, ensuring and capitalizing on the fuel decap was the fresh Grenadier.
Look at Lovenest here, negating the barbed wire that Von Asten put up at the start of the game. We've now got your classic World War One barbed wire field in between 2 heavy cover areas, and this is really good.
Marshall sandwich there.
Absolutely. Lovenest has been really aggressive with the conscripts early on, and I love this. He's stunting resources right from the start. Gone for 2 brutal territory decaps, preventing Von Asten getting early resources.
Beautiful part of Famenville approach. It's almost like an inverted crossroads effect. You can go through the center to get those cut-offs, and that's exactly what Lovenest has been able to do here. So this 2-man Grenadier, who's going to possibly lose even more manpower, is capping a fuel that's not even connected. So it's a nice, incisive map play by Lovenest.
It's very punishing because for Von Asten to spread out at the start of the game and take 2 Grenadiers to the left, well, he just wasn't going to win that conscript battle, and Lovenest had quick teched up to Molotovs. You know, he's kind of got really good field advantage right now, and to push those areas is just great game sense. And that's really probably the hardest thing Von Asten's going to be up against is Lovenest's game sense.
Definitely, and I think Molotovs are back. It's very exciting that we have these peaks and troughs in meta and people's expectations. You know, 4 cons mollies, people wouldn't have even considered that a month and a half ago, but players are finding more and more efficient ways to play, and that includes dredging up things that people had previously discounted and said that's not what we do anymore. There you go, perfect Molotov by Lovenest, perfectly being a great example of my points. He decided to Molotov the car in an act of a display of aggression.
Just caught the end of that. I was just focusing on the engineers on the east there, and the Pioneers came on a great retreat path flank. I'm surprised actually no models dropped. Had the MG facing that direction as well. So Lovenest lucky there to get away with the models he did. But after that great start game, actually Lovenest isn't looking so peachy on territory anymore.
He's still got this fuel, but he's going to have this decap now. So he's got the conscript coming up, but the conscript's very important. It's got to try and stop the Grenadiers, you know, discounting the fuel. It's all about how quickly you can get that T70 up. And Lovenest is going to be considering getting tier 3 straight away after... Ooh, that was a big one. I think
That was
Loveness
nice.
might have a little bit of input delay at the moment, I'm assuming.
That's a
I
tough
think he
one.
might have a little bit of input delay.
He did move away from it, but it was just, you know, that was a tough rifle grenade to dodge, to be honest. Even if you infantry, I don't think you would necessarily get out of there quick enough.
Hopefully not. We'd hate input delay to cause the players to struggle unnecessarily. You can play around it, and Loveness might not even be suffering it. It might just be a little bit of rust. We just don't know. Here we go. We've got a combat engineer with the flamethrower, going to push away these grenadiers. And he's only had that cutoff neutralized. Meanwhile, in the east, he has managed to neutralize the fuel. So strategically, Loveness actually came out on top in those engagements.
Again, we talked about this yesterday, the positioning of the sandbags, always making sure that the Axis team doesn't have a good opportunity to utilize the sandbags. Not sure why he's getting on that side of the cover, although the MG will not. Oh, it does actually have the sight.
Wants to cap the fuel. That won't be.
I guess, but it's not going to help because he's on the wrong side of suppression and he doesn't cap it.
Oh, he didn't quite cap the fuel down. I am not going to say that you calculated that he'd be 1% away from capping that
only
fuel.
2 bursts. 2 bursts is full suppression.
Come on, he nearly capped the fuel. He did the right thing.
Maybe
nice
that was
bit of barbed wire here, stopping Von Asten from getting that central building. I just like the efficiency of that barbed wire. It's a nice little blob. There you go. You're going to have to take the long way around to get in that garrison from now on.
Flamer half-track's about to erupt onto the scene.
Ooh,
pyrotechnics on Faymanville.
Well. Look at this Uron in the garrison. He's managed to get round the MG. He's counted it out, but of course we are now 60% of the way to the flamethrower upgrade. Cons jump in the house. They're about to be met with a burst.
Yeah, I think Loveness is going to spot this. He should be pretty safe. Wants to do as much damage as he can to the MG42 before that flame pops. And there's the pop. Has Loveness spotted it? Took a huge amount of health damage there and will continue.
I think the MG just reinforced one model before the flamethrower upgraded.
Yes.
Nice work. He was a 2-5 on this. Conscript's really low. Big burst incoming.
Oh! Ah! He's going to be a squad wipe. He's going to want to chase that. And he gets it. First squad wipe of the game. And Loveness, of course, the Molotovs, hasn't taken AT grenades, so isn't able to deal with that. He has just brought guards on. He's playing guard motor, which is his commander choice. And
a lot of people having barbecues for the World Cup, having family around, friends around in their gardens on a big TV. Von Asten's having a company heroes 2 barbecue here. The old-fashioned way with a half-track and some Russians.
What's that? What went off there? Tripwire
flare okay. On retreat path between the gates of that green cover wall. Loveness, of course, notorious and infamous for his heavy utilage of tripwire flares. We'll all remember in ESL when he used to put them on doorways, much more than other players. In fact, every single doorway had a tripwire flare when you were playing Loveness, and it got him many victories.
I'm feeling sorry for Loveness. He's got mines placed down. He has actually teched up to AT grenades now. It is an option. But that half-track, I think, has been quite lucky. The pathway that it's taken nearly every time has avoided the mine in the center. So that's still alive. He has now the scout car as well, which is going to put
hand against,
pressure. Yeah. I think this is important, actually, that mobile anti-infantry capability on the field, especially on Faymanville, where it's spread very thin. Love that.
Nice Molotov there, pushing 2 grenadiers together in unison. No DPs quite yet on the guards, but they are a great deterrent to the half-track, already pushing that away. And I think Loveness is still well and truly in this. He only lost 1 conscript, and there's always a good old saying for most Soviet players out there, you can always afford to lose a conscript, or 2, or 3, or maybe even 4 conscripts.
That is very true. Yeah. What was just planted here? Is this tripwire? Did he actually get it planted in the end? No, I think he cancelled it. I'm not sure whether he's planting a mine or a tripwire.
He's actually planted 3 tripwire flares on that doorway.
Oh, they're not high. Oh yeah, I can see it now.
He's planted 3 tripwire flares on the doorway. So that is going to be pretty brutal. That's going to be horrific. So he's pretty much played Macaulay Culkin Home Alone on that doorway. It's the kind of things you may spot it, but you're not going to have time to be sweeping all of these tripwire flares. And in 10 or 15 minutes' time, Von Asten may well remember take a 3-man grenadier into that party zone and become like Marvin and the other guy, Earl, is it, from Home Alone, you know. And Loveness very much like the blonde kid. Would be like, welcome to my party zone. T3 is now finally being constructed. Loveness has more than enough fuel for the T70 and enough manpower also, so the T70 will be making a 12-minute entrance onto the battlefield.
I'm going to make a very educated guess that Von Asten didn't see any kind of minefield there, because he did just drive his scout car straight over that location. Very responsible, though. Loveness may lose another conscript squad if this scout car decides to go back into the base. Has every reason to do so, as there won't be a snare.
Another conscript could be going. I need to get around to the Tank Battalion command. He's done so. Now it's the 222's turn to be in a bit of peril. Where are the guard squad? They're on retreat, so it looks like he'll be safe.
I think it was unfortunate there, and of course when the conscripts broke line of sight with the scout car started targeting different units, so a little unfortunate. He could have pushed. I think it would have been okay.
So just to keep everybody updated, there's now 4 Grenadier models that have died to tripwire flares. That's 120 manpower down for the cost of 40 munitions. Not bad. 251, and again, another huge burst. This second one could be a wipe. Where's the T70 when you need it? Can't shoot backwards.
Oh, what a flame burst! What a
Just
flame
on the
burst!
Angle. That was horrific.
And, yeah, don't forget he's flicked on mobile defense. The Puma is straight out, so there is a counter to the T70 already on the field. This would be Lovenest's opportunity. He does have AT grenades. He's not going to all-right in, though. Even though he
was so unlucky there. There's a massive blind spot behind the 251 that it can't shoot within, and he was right on the angle of that. It was like almost like a flick over the shoulder, kind of Federer style. Not even looking, you know. Have some flame. There you go. You're dead.
Wow. I mean, Von Asten's just playing with such tenacity. Every time the Puma kind of kites in and out for the T70, you've then got that half track there to defend it. This is really, really good. We see telemines just being laid down by Von Asten. He's also playing the defensive. He's expecting Loveness may come back and preparing himself for it. So Von Asten in a great position for game 1. And for anyone that didn't expect this, like we were saying, Von Asten has just picked up and up and up in this game. And is definitely a solid 1v1 player.
As I say, he's not a solid 1v1 player. I would even go more hyperbole than that, Dan. I would say he's an elite level tournament player now. And there's only about 5 or 6 people that can even be classified as such anymore. And I think Von Asten now, he's starting to do well in these tournaments, is really, you know, beginning to cement that. Don't forget as well, he won UTT, the 2v2 tournament, only a couple of months ago. So I would count him in that upper echelon now.
Just watching Von Asten right now, what he's doing with the Pioneers at any moment. He's going to go get the VPs. He could get a triple cap, and a triple cap against allies is quite lethal if he can hold it even for a couple of minutes. That will significantly wear down time in this game that Loveness has to make a comeback with allies. Here's that half track again, relatively safe even to take an anti-tank grenade. Here comes that T70 straight away in action.
I think Loveness's build order has been countered in this game. I know he's had some dodgy conscript losses, but those dodgy conscript losses came at the hands of the light vehicle play, namely the 251 and the 222 half-track. Loveness allowed Von Asten to pretty much parade around the battlefield with these light vehicles with only guards and now PTRS penals to counter them. It was a full conscript build. He didn't go for the Dev-M style 2 penals off the bat into guards build. So I think he hasn't played what is established as the best way to counter mobile defense, and I think he's suffered for it.
I have to say, when we talk about the name mobile defense, I think this is possibly the most apt game I've seen that lives up to the name, because you saw as soon as that half track took the AT grenade, all of the light vehicles rushed over to that side. There was a counter for everything. You had anti-infantry, you had flames, anti-garrison, you had the counter to the T70. It's actually really beautiful, but in this sense it's really thought through. And on a map like Faymanville, you can go left to right so quickly, and we see Von Asten doing that constantly. I think he's playing this very, very well.
He is. There's a famous adage, the tripwire flares just went off, by the way. It's a famous adage in just human history, human life. The best form of defense is an attack. I will not accept that mobile defense is a very well-named commander. I think he's got a terrible name. But mobile attack is a very good form of defense, as we see the huge attack there from the incendiary armor-piercing rounds. What the hell?
It was finished off by the Puma.
Oh my God, that tilted him! He's thrown in the towel!
Wow. Wow. I mean, that would annoy me, but he wasn't paying attention to the Puma still being center map. But, oh, gosh. Tough game for Lovenest in game 1. Let's get back to the lobby and discuss that.
This
Well, it seems it's not just the World Cup where all of the top teams and players are just being sent home early. It looks like Lovenest might be another addition to a terrible year of that.
Wow. I think we were all caught by surprise by those incendiary rounds. It reminds me of a famous game was it Dev M and Momo for show in ESL NA February?